What's happening, everybody? Justin, Bridgewater's finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, and welcome to week 6 of my weekly NFL pick show for the 2015-2016 NFL season. Week 5 was okay. I'm not going to call it great because it wasn't, and I'm not going to call it a failure because it certainly wasn't, but it was okay. It was almost up to my Geo Knows award-winning standards. Both straight up and against the spread in week 5. I went 9-5, so those are fairly good marks. You know, straight up, I'm 51-26. That is my best mark ever through week 5, so I'm continuing a record-setting season. Against the spread, as I said, it was 9-5. That has me 44-32-1. I consider that a pretty good against the spread mark through 5 weeks. Over-under, I split perfectly even again. 7 correct, 7 incorrect. That has me 37-37-3 over-under. As I said, I went 9-5 straight up, which is, again, not a bad mark, but 2 of those 5 losses were big ones. I lost my platinum and my gold picks to jarring comebacks last week. Platinum pick, I told you to take Baltimore to beat Cleveland. Cleveland came back on Baltimore, beat them 33-30 in overtime. And my gold pick, I told you to take Kansas City to beat Chicago, said that was just what the doctor ordered, and Chicago beats them 18-17. Lesson learned, don't put money on the Chiefs. I got the silver pick and the bronze pick, though. Silver pick, I told you to take Green Bay to beat St. Louis. Handled them easily by 2 possessions, 24-10. And the bronze pick, I told you to take Atlanta to beat Washington. Devonta Freeman with another huge game there against one of the top 5 run defenses in football. Atlanta wins 25-19. So I missed the platinum, missed the gold, got the silver, and got the bronze. Peeking in at the Bridgewater's finest pick'em pool for season 4, I did drop a couple of spaces from last week. I'm down to 14th now out of 50 managers, 428 out of 633 possible confidence points. That is a clip of only 68%, so it's a couple of percentage points under where I'd like to be. And last week I brought in 70 of 105 possible confidence points. That was, again, it was all right. It was 67%. So again, it's a couple of percentage points under where I'd like to be. Shout out to our week 5 winner, still surprisingly mediocre. He has been in the league for a couple of years now. Went 10-4 last week, so a little bit better than I did, but just had better management of the confidence points. 91 out of 105 possible confidence points. That's a clip of 87%. That's an excellent week. And shout out to our new overall leader, Stephen Coleman from HalfmoonsPicks, a fellow YouTube prognosticator, is 52-25 picking straight up this year, so 1 better than I am. 458 out of 633 possible confidence points. That's a clip of 72%, and that's an excellent season so far for Stephen. So shout out to Still Surprisingly Mediocre for winning week 5, and Stephen Coleman from HalfmoonsPicks for being our new overall leader. I'll take this opportunity, as always, to remind you that if you go to the description of this video, you're going to find all of my results from last week and so far on the season. You're going to find all of my against the spread and over-under plays for week 6 in the NFL, information on joining the Bridgewater's finest pick'em pool for season 4, the link to the NFL YouTube Prognosticators Facebook page, as well as a lot of links to other high-quality prognosticators just like me. Before we get into the Week 6 picks, I just want to throw a couple of questions out there to you. I'd like you to answer these in the comments section below. I know every week it feels like a quiz, but a couple of questions here for you. Answer these in the comments section below. Number 1, we still have a few unbeaten teams in the NFL. I would like to know, in your opinion, how many unbeaten teams, if any, lose in Week 6, and who is going to have the first loss hung up on their record. Second question, of course, we've hit now the quarter pole of the season for every team. Every team has played at least 4 games. My question to you is, right now, who is football's MVP? There's a lot of great choices, a lot of great possibilities in the league right now. Maybe you still think it's Aaron Rodgers. Maybe you think it's Tom Brady, all the success he's had on the Roger Goodell Revenge Tour. You might think it's Devonta Freeman with the last couple of huge games that he's had. Maybe you think it's Julio Jones. Maybe you think it's somebody on the defensive side of the ball, somebody on special teams. Who knows? Who is your MVP so far in the NFL season? Okay, folks, let's move into the Week 6 picks now. We're going to start at the bottom with the bronze pick, where I am 5-0 this year. So really, what my picks should be inverted here. My 5-0 should be my top pick. But in any case, bronze pick is 5-0. For the bronze pick this week, I'm going to tell you to pick on a team that I just told you to never bet money on, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs, as they travel into Minnesota to play the Vikings. Is this pick a reaction to Kansas City's poor performance last week? Probably. Doesn't help that the best running back in football just had his bionic knee destroyed. But it's also a reaction to the way the Vikes have been playing at home this year. They have gotten the job done. Wins against Detroit and San Diego, only giving up an average of 15 points against at home. So that defense is showing up when they're within the friendly confines. And I believe they've scored 31 and 26. So that's averaging around 28 points per game. That's a fairly wide berth. The Vikings offense is starting to come along. Teddy Bridgewater, I don't think, has quite put up the numbers that people had hoped and expected that he would so far this year, but AP seems to be running pretty good again. They should be rested. And Kansas City, I mean, that was just a gutting loss last week. To be in your own house and lose to the Chicago Bears. I'm sorry to Bears fans. I apologize. But I mean, like, you guys know more than I would about the struggles of your team. I mean, that's a huge win for Bears fans last week. That had to be huge, but that's got to be really, really deflating to a Chiefs team that a lot of people, I think, thought were going to be challenging for this division, or certainly for a wild card. But right now, with an ineffective quarterback and Jamal Charles gone for the year, I think it's time to start picking on the Chiefs. So I'm going to start doing that. I like the Vikings all day here at home. I like the Vikes to put up 30, 35 points. Kansas City will not be able to keep pace. For my bronze pick, I'm going to tell you to take Minnesota to beat Kansas City in Minnesota. My silver pick, where I'm 4-1 so far on the season, sees the New England Patriots travel to Indianapolis for a date with the Colts. Now, the Colts have been playing without Andrew Luck for the last 2 weeks. They had a gutsy, emotional win on Thursday Night Football in Week 5, winning that game 27-20. Matt Hasselbeck turning back the clock a little bit, even had a big run play. Hasselbeck turning it back, played a great game. He was even sort of under physical duress. He had some kind of stomach virus or something like that. Broke down into tears at the end of the game. That was a huge moment for the Colts and a huge moment for Hasselbeck. But now they get Luck back. Luck healthy, well-rested, and gets to get clobbered by Tom Brady. Look, I'm not a huge Patriots fan. I wear a Patriots hat, but I'm not a huge Patriots fan, but you just got to go by the numbers. We need to see what kind of effectiveness Andrew Luck is going to have after not playing for a few weeks. Got to see if there's any field rust at all. And you can't have field rust against a team like the Patriots. Even if they're on the road, even if they're in your building, you cannot show any sign of weakness because this Patriots team will capitalize on it. So until I see someone capable of beating the Patriots, maybe the Packers at home, maybe the Seahawks at home, I don't know. Until I see someone that is capable of beating New England, I can't bet against them. So that's the way I'm going. Silver pick, I'm going to tell you to take New England to beat Indianapolis in Indianapolis. My gold pick, where I am 2-3 on the season, sees the Washington Redskins travel to New York to take on the Jets. What am I thinking? All right, hear me out on this one. The Skins have lost both of their road games this year. The Jets are fairly well rested because they had their bye week 2 weeks ago. They came back strong off their bye week, beating Miami. If it wasn't for that little bump in the road in week 3 against Philadelphia, which was a game that was within a touchdown, the Jets would be undefeated right now. I still have faith in this Jets defense. I have faith in the Jets' ability to run on Washington, having seen what a rookie, Devonta Freeman, did to Washington last week. So I believe the Jets can run on this team, and if the Jets can run on this team, the Jets should be able to win. Washington's backfield is a total mess right now. You cannot rely on Alfred Morris. You cannot rely on Matt Jones. You really can't rely on anybody in that Redskins backfield. And that's going to leave things up to Kirk Cousins. And I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to find a lot of success against that Jets secondary. Based on that, I really like the Jets at home. That's the way I'm going to go with the gold pick. I'm going to tell you for the gold pick to take the New York Jets to beat the Washington Redskins in New York. And my platinum pick, where I am 2-3 so far on the season, sees the San Diego Chargers travel into Lambeau Field, into Green Bay for a date with Rodgers and the Packers. Hey, Aaron Rodgers finally looked human in a game at Lambeau Field. And the Packers still won by 2 touchdowns. The Chargers took a bad beat on Monday Night Football, losing to the Steelers on a goal line plunge by Le'Veon Bell. That game was very, very close, and San Diego, up until that point, really had a shot to win that game. But that was in San Diego, with an opponent that had to travel across the country. And this time they have to travel across the country and play a team that's damn near unbeatable at home. Good luck, Phil. Now, in all seriousness, the Chargers looked really good in that game. They got Antonio Gates back, feel-good story of the year so far. 2 touchdown catches in his first game back from his wellness policy suspension. I just don't see the Chargers beating Green Bay in Green Bay. I think it's going to take a really special kind of team to go into Green Bay, play a whole complete game, and beat the Packers in Green Bay. I don't think it happens this week. My platinum pick, I'm going to tell you to take Green Bay to beat San Diego in Green Bay. Now it's time to take a look at the rest of my straight-up picks for Week 6 in the NFL. Here they come. That's the Week 6 show for you folks. Comments, hate, and love, you know where they go in the comments section below. Remember, if you're going to thumbs down the video, at least have the balls to show yourself and tell me why in the comments section. It's time for the comment of the week from the Week 5 video. Comment of the week from this week comes from Josh Buchanan. Remember I had asked you last week about which team you thought would be the last team to be undefeated. Josh chimed in, I think Atlanta will be the last undefeated team because their schedule is pretty easy until they play Carolina, those tough division games, you never know. I don't think Carolina will hang with Atlanta in the division, I agree, because Carolina's schedule is tougher, I agree, and Atlanta impressed me more. 42-0 in the third, and you take out your starters. I know, that was a pretty insane game, right? Wasn't the final score with Carolina and Houston 24-17? Come on now, and almost losing to Luke McCown? And this is an interesting stat here that he ended his comment with. The NFL has Atlanta with the highest percentage to go 16-0 out of all the undefeated teams with the Patriots behind them. That was really interesting. I did not know that, so you learn something new every day. Thank you, Josh, for your comment. You are the comment of the week from the Week 5 video. Okay, folks, we're going to get you out of here now on my CFL picks for Week 17 in the CFL season. If you remember last week, Week 16 was the week with 5 games. I didn't do overly well. I only went 2-3, which means I'm only 11-10 picking the CFL straight up. Week 17 in the CFL, I like the Ottawa Redblacks at home to beat Winnipeg. I like Toronto at home to beat Calgary. I like Edmonton at home to beat BC. And I like Hamilton on the road going into Montreal to beat the Alouettes. That's it for me, Justin, Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, wearing my new GeoKnows.com t-shirt that I just got yesterday. Thank you, Geo. Week 6 is in the books. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you here again for Week 7.